Hello everyone, my name is Jay Kumar Gupta. Welcome to my final project presentation for the data visualization project that is Airbnb analysis Chicago versus New Orleans. The goal of this project was to use Microsoft Power BI to conduct a comprehensive comparative analysis of the Airbnb market into two unique American cities, Chicago and New Orleans. This wasn't just about creating charts, it was about tackling the challenge of turning raw, complex data into a clear, interactive story that could reveal the distinct character and economic drivers of each city's rental landscape. To do this, I went through a multi-phase process. The journey began in the Power Query Editor, the data preparation workshop inside Power BI. There I cleaned and transformed thousands of rows of data, a critical process for ensuring accuracy. More importantly, I created several unique analytical columns like price, tiers, and seasons. These custom columns are the foundation of a deep analysis, allowing us to ask more intelligent questions than the raw data alone would permit. From there, I built this four-page interactive dashboard to visualize my findings. Throughout this presentation, I will talk you through each page of the report. I won't just show you what the charts say, I will explain key insights I discovered, the data challenges I overcame, and how these findings answer the core questions of project. So, my project uh, have four pages: executive summary, pricing analysis, seasonal analysis, and host analysis. Let's start with executive summary. So this first page is the executive summary, which serves as the mission control for our entire analysis. It is designed to provide a high-level overview at a glance, perfect for an executive who might only have a minute to spare. So here we have our key performance indicators or KPIs: city, price, tier, budget, season, total listings, average price, and average availability score. Okay. These answer the most fundamental business questions. We can see that across both cities, we are analyzing a substantial market of nearly 15,000 listings. As you can see, we have nearly 15,000 listings. The overall price is around $192 per night, giving us a baseline for affordability and the average availability score of 62%. That is that on a given day, a little over third of listings are occupied, giving us sense of market occupancy. Okay, so here is the city, price tier, and season. I will explain further. The two power of this dashboard comes from interactively. I have strategically placed slices for city, price tier, and season at the top. City, and this is a price tier and a season. These are main controls of our entire analytical ecosystem. A key feature I enabled is sync slicers here. As you can see, I will discuss further about this. This is a crucial step that ensures a filter applied, for example, filtering for luxury listing in the summer propagate across all the other pages of the report. This creates a seamless, intuitive user experience, making report feel like a cohesive market rather than a collection of separate charts. For example, if you click on the Chicago, we see the KPIs and our map update instantly. We learned that Chicago is a large market with more listings and a slightly higher price. Now, if we click on New Orleans, we see a smaller, more boutique market, but with a higher price average availability, which could suggest a different competitive landscape. Now, if we see the map, you can I clear a selection. Now we can see the map here. New Orleans is here. We can see it is near the sea, and Chicago Chicago is here. It's near the river. Okay, it's near, sorry, a lake. So the center piece of this page is your special map, which plots every single listing we indexed by our custom price tier column in the land to color code the listings. We can see here the color code blue, purple, and orange, and standard for purple. Sorry, luxury is blue. Yeah. So you can see where luxury properties are geographically clustered in downtown Chicago, or how budget listings might be more common in outlying neighborhoods of New Orleans. Finally, I placed a page navigator here, simply dived deeper into specific analysis on the subsequent pages. Like if we if I hold the control, we can go to price analysis. You can see here, and we can go host analysis. We can see here. Okay, so wait a second. Hmm. Now we are going to start with our. Now here I'll want to show you Chicago. If you Chicago, we want to see budget rooms and what's the season. Fall, we can see 130 listings and in which area. Okay, we can see summer, we can see spring, and average prices and availability score also updates according to winter. Okay, if we see New Orleans, if we see New Orleans, so here the New Orleans luxury, because in New Orleans luxury rooms are more, and we have standard, mid-range. On the basis of that, we can see many things. You can see in Chicago budget rooms with different seasons. Okay. Now let's move to our pricing and property analysis. The goal here is to deconstruct the market and understand its core components. Now let's move to our pricing analysis page. You can see here we have donut charts and tree map charts. The visuals on the screen immediately tell us a key story about market composition. The donut chart provides a clear, high-level view showing that for both cities combined, entire home apartment listings make up a vast majority of the market at nearly 82%, and this indicates a market that caters heavily to travelers seeking privacy and space. The tree map below it allows to dig deeper into specific property types, revealing the nuances between apartments, houses, condos, and more. Now, if we go to metrics, here we can see we have all neighborhood, we have neighborhood metrics, neighborhood pattern metrics. We can see as detailed in here. We can see every neighborhood and the average price for each price tier we did. I then applied a conditional background color formatting to turn into heat map. This allows for rapid pattern recognition. A user can instantly see which neighborhood I want to show you example. Let's say first I want to apply sync slicers here. First of all, we will select row, then I will sync slicers here. Okay, then we move to the page here. We can see all the budget rooms in Chicago, standard rooms. Okay, and this is the heat map. According to you can see the colors are changing. The average price, and we can see our tree chart also changing, and the donut chart also changing according to that. If we want to see more like seasonal fall, We can also add this. We can see more. So this is the, we can go into more deeper analysis. Now let's move toward page 3, seasonal analysis. This chart, this page is where we explore the dynamic nature of this market. And as any good analyst knows, sometimes the data surprises you, and the story of overcoming data challenges is as important as the final insight itself. So we will start here by average price by season and the city. This chart tells a powerful story, both about the markets and about the analytical process. My initial analysis using a simple average showed some strange outliers that were skewing the results. This led me to investigate further. After a careful data cleaning process, we have filtered out our extreme price to get a more accurate signal. I used a filter. I I basically what I did, I used a filter and I removed the outliers. I made the prices between 10 to 1000. So it what happened? It removed all the filters. Otherwise, I get some strange data quality issues. For Chicago, we see a clear and expected seasonal pattern with prices peaking in the spring and summer. As we can see here, in spring and summer, the prices are high. This strongly suggests a market driven by traditional tourism, good weather, and outdoor festivals. As I already told you, the Chicago is near the sea, near the lake. So it is very, very good for good weather and outdoor festival. The real inside, however, comes from New Orleans. Okay, what New Orleans shows, its market is very stable with a very little price difference. We can see here 172, 171, 177, 177. There's not much difference. This suggests New Orleans is a year-round destination whose tourism is likely driven by consistent flow of conferences, cultural events, and a reputation as a perennial gateway. Unlike the weather-dependent tourism of Chicago, the chart next to it showing average ability comes from distance, which ability also remaining relatively stable throughout the year. Now let's move to our animated scatter plot. For a more advanced view, this animated scatter plot allows us to watch how the relationship between price and availability for each neighborhood shifts as we move through the season, providing a dynamic, multifaceted view of the market's pulse. Let's play the chart. You can see here how the prices are changing. Winter, fall, you can see Chicago's price are higher. Then spring, again Chicago's price are higher. Summer, winter, now all prices are, and we can see confirm that all the New Orleans prices are not getting much different. Okay, so this is all about our. Now, if we sync the slicers of our budget to seasonal analysis, we can get more insights here, like budget, mid-range, standard, luxury. We can get more insights from this. Like in luxury rooms, you can see New Orleans always beat. And it is explainable that in spring the availability of the Chicago rooms are luxury rooms are more available. Now let's move to our host analysis. Here I should also add seasons also seasonal analysis. Mm. Yeah. Now we can get more insights. Fall. In fall, the budget rooms like prices we can average price we can see mid-range, luxury, standard. We can compare more. Now, if it's summer, we already know budget, mid-range, luxury, standard. We can see how the charts are moving. For spring, budget, mid-range, luxury, standard. Okay. Now let's move to our host analysis. Finally, we analyze the people behind the listings on our host analysis page. To do this, I created a host type column to classify hosts as either single listing, representing casual homeowners, or multi-listing, representing more profession, professional operators. The donut chart here at the top reveals a major insight that speaks to the professionalism of the platform. Over 72% of the listings are managed by multi-listing hosts. This suggests that market in both the cities is heavily influenced by people and companies running Airbnb rentals as business, rather than individuals casually renting out a spare room. Okay. Now to answer the core product question about correlation, when we compare these two host types, we see something very interesting that challenges common assumptions. The prices, the pricing chart shows that both groups have similar average price, indicating that the professional hosts aren't necessarily charging a significant premium. Even more surprising is the review velocity chart, which shows that single listing host actually gets slightly more reviews per month on average. This could imply that guests at single listing property are more engaged, or that the host provided a more personal touch, leads to a higher review rate. This findings goes against the assumption that a professional host always outperform, suggesting a very competitive market where individual hosts hold their own. Now, if we go to so this is our host analysis page. We can see here how the ratings are changed, how the analysis is showing us. So this is our all the project about the Airbnb analysis, Chicago versus New Orleans, and this is our my first Power BI project. I didn't have the knowledge of the Power BI, but as I had the knowledge of data analysis from using Python, Panda, and everything, so I don't much feel new. Just I don't know how to use Power BI, but now I understand the Power BI's, and Power BI is really good use if we know how to use that. Okay, so we conclude this interactive dashboard has allowed us to move beyond surface level number to uncover real data-driven differences between the Chicago and New Orleans BNB markets. First, we saw that the market composition is different. Chicago is a largely larger market dominated by apartments, while New Orleans has a significant share of full house rentals. Secondly, most importantly, the economic heartbeat of seasonality of each city's competition. Chicago market driven by weather and traditional holidays, while New Orleans is a remarkably stable year-round destination. Because you can see here is the New Orleans is located near the sea, so location is important. Mostly rooms around the sea, so people can get reach to the uh, sea, ocean. Sorry, it is the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, so Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so it is a very good and good destination. because in in coastal areas the climate always very moderate. That's why it explains why the New Orleans price always stable or year-round destination. And third, we discovered that while the market is dominated by professional multi-listing hosts, the performance between them and single host is surprisingly competitive, particularly when it comes to guest engagement as measured by review velocity. We already see in review velocity, the single hosting reviews are good. So this project demonstrates the Power BI not just to create chart but to serve as complete analytical workbench to clean, model, analyze, and ultimately present a data-driven story from start to finish. Thank you for giving me this project, and I really learned many things in just a week, and and I learned Power BI from scratch. I know my charts and my not much good, but I tried. In my next project, I will apply more good visualizations and good colors. I know the color schemes not good. I just learning because many times I my project. This is the second. This is the third time I'm making this project. In third time, I get all the knowledge. I get this. I got this right. This is the third time. First time I blow up seriously. So yeah, thank you very much.